Hi, my name is Tom. I was a student on the MA course Renaissance Art History and Curatorship, and I graduated in 2019. In this video, I'm just going to talk to you about some of the elements of student life at the Warburg and also a little bit about life after the Warburg as well. One of the really very valuable things that I have taken from my Warburg experience is the impulse to think across intellectual and discipline boundaries. This is something facilitated by the library itself. Its codification system encourages you to think across subjects which you wouldn't naturally or instinctively think of, but is also something that is encouraged actively by the staff there. The personal tutors you're assigned, the course leaders are always trying to challenge preconceptions you may have, asking you to think more imaginatively and creatively. And I certainly feel, now that I'm in outside of the academic environment of the Warburg, that this has complemented the way that I think and makes me a more imaginative, more creative, more critically minded person. One of the most exciting and attractive aspects of the course I did was the curatorial aspect. This course was ran in conjunction with the National Gallery, a short walk away from the Warburg, and this means that you get weekly seminars and meetings with National Gallery staff. These are ranging from conservators to curatorial staff, exhibition staff, and they walk you through the activities, both daily and long term, of the gallery. And you can put some of these ideas and thoughts in place if you take the course that I've taken, because there's a curatorial module where you have to implement an exhibition using an online software which the National Gallery actually use. And I found that practice really illuminating in terms of imagining what exhibitions mean to the public today, what exhibitions of early modern art means to the public today. Just to give you an idea of where a master's in art history can lead you, I'm an archive assistant at a company which owns the licensing rights to some big interior decoration brands such as Morris & Co., Sanderson, and Anthropologie. And what my role in particular is to digitize the artwork that's in the archive currently. And these are things such as paintings, illustrations, drawings, designs, documents. And one of the things that I'm most excited about right now, which I started just before this enforced break occurred, was a government-funded project which hopes to facilitate deep visual learning, deep neural network learning for computers, which helps things such as photo recognition software, pattern recognition software, and is even aiming to find a way to use computer technology to recognize illustrative designs and styles, so it can connect artists and artistic styles from different collections and make for a more easy and inclusive search software experience. I hope this has thrown a little bit more light on what it's like to be a student at the Warburg. I'll be leaving my contact details, my email address, so please do feel free to contact me about any questions you have about what it's like to be a student at the Warburg. Thank you.
Hi there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Anna, and I finished the MA in Cultural and Intellectual History in September of last year, so that was 2019. I came into the MA with a BA in History, although that was mainly modern history, as I tried to avoid doing any Renaissance history as an undergraduate. And then I changed my mind, which was one of the main reasons why I came to the Warburg Institute to learn about Renaissance history. The people from my cohort came from various backgrounds. Some of them had done history like me, and some others had come from classics or French or English, or even completely different careers in law or journalism to then transition into Renaissance history. We were a very international group of students. We once counted that we came from 5 different continents, which was a very high number considering the small group of people that we were at the time. So coming in from different backgrounds with a different expertise, different interests, there was a lot of scope to learn from fellow students. Some of them came in knowing exactly what they wanted to research, and others had no idea, like me. But the infrastructure of the MA really helped to serve the needs of both kinds of people. as you've probably heard by now, the library is an amazing resource. I found most of my essay topics by just browsing through the library stacks, just pulling out any volume with a title that caught my attention, and then working from that. Once I'd embarked on my research, I also found that most of the sources that I needed were available in the library, even some really obscure volumes from half a century ago, or books in languages other than English. But probably more important than the books were the people at the Institute. So I've mentioned my fellow students, but of course the teaching staff is there at the Institute for students. The teaching side of the Institute is fairly contained in that there are no undergraduates. So the teachers are there to help MA students and PhD students with their work. And in my experience, they were always very eager to discuss work, to guide new interests, and generally they made a lot of time for us, I found. And also everyone shares the same physical, the same floor at the Institute, so there's a lot of room for you to run into the people who teach you every week and to chat with them about anything. And apart from the official teaching staff, there are also a lot of people affiliated to the Institute. There are fellows, but also just the readers in the library, people who use the books every day and who come to the Institute to pursue their research. And these people are brought together at the many events, lectures, workshops, reading groups, seminars that the Institute organizes a couple of times a week. Not now, of course, because all events are probably cancelled, but when I was there, there was just so much going on all the time. And these are people who are experts in your field, perhaps, people who are working in adjacent fields who can really help you develop your interests. And as an MA student, I felt extremely privileged to be able to learn from that community of scholars that gravitates around the Institute. I will end with something cheesy, something that is easily overlooked though. I think essentially it all comes down to passion. The people who are at the Institute, in the library, are there because they love what they do. And they're generally very eager to talk about their research, to share their ideas and exchange thoughts. And so I think overall the Institute just provides a very, very inspiring environment for any MA student. So